Today I'm working on this Honda Fourtrax 300 and I'm replacing the stator. The first thing we need to do is remove these 4 bolts that hold this little cover on. And then on the drive shaft that runs through here, there are 2 snap rings that we need to remove. Then I put into the little nuts that we took off to take the cover off, and I'm going to use those to pry against the ends of the drive shaft to pop them out of each side. Then we need to remove the 4 bolts on the bottom of the footrest and get that out of the way. There's a little cover on the bottom, and I just pried that down a little bit so I could get to the bolts in the back. Now we're going to remove the shift lever, and the 10mm bolt needs to come all the way out before you can pull the lever off. Now grab an oil pan and stick it underneath because the oil will come out of the cover when you open it up. And then we need to take all of the bolts all around off in order to get the cover off. We also need to disconnect the 2 connectors back here. There's a green one here, there's a tab that pulls out. And then there's the other connector there, and you also lift the tab there to disconnect that one. Now we can remove the cover, and there's one thing we need to be careful of is that shift lever that'll try to come out with the cover, and it'll just be a pain if you don't try to just push that in right away. It does make it easier if we take this bolt off and take the ground wire off. Now that we have the cover off, we can take the stator out. There's 3 bolts there that you use a hex key to remove. Then there's a 10mm bolt holding on a shield for the wires. Then we can disconnect the wire from the ignition signal, and then we can pull out the stator. One thing you need to be careful about is when you get a new stator, you need to make sure it has the same amount of coils as the old one. Putting it back together is just going to be reverse of how we took it apart. In fact, I didn't record it, I just reversed the video of me taking it apart. I'd gotten sidetracked with other issues, and by the time I remembered to record, it was all back together.